Well, good morning and welcome to Live at 8:05. Just a little late this morning. I am Dr. Amy Nussbaum. Some days your mornings just don't go as planned, and that was my morning. But gonna keep going, gonna keep moving through my day as planned ish. But today I want to talk about slowing down on purpose. I want to talk about something that many of us struggle with, and that is becoming more present and being more mindful in the moment. So, if you've been feeling scattered, if you've been feeling anxious, like you always have to be on, or like you're living in fast forward and you're like, oh my goodness, June is almost over. How did that even happen? Like kids just got out of school last week, or at least it seems. You're not alone and you are not stuck. You can shift gears down a little bit. You can slow down and you can enjoy life more when you are intentional. Because let's get real, we are constantly bombarded by noise, by screens, by to do lists, and the pressure to be productive. I don't know about you, but I still have a to do list of things I want to get done this summer that is very long. I've been checking things off here and there, but also allowing myself time to just relax, go to the pool, and just be present in the moment. Because here's the thing, how many of us we scroll while we eat, or we check texts while we're having a conversation with someone else, or we're planning the next thing before we've even finished the current moment. I know when my family gets together, my extended family, we always kid that while we're eating a meal, we're planning our next meal. And that's kind of how many of us live life, right? We're in one moment, kind of can't wait for it to get over so that we can move on to the next moment. But here's what happens, it's if we don't address this sense of urgency and always moving forward and just living in fast forward, we miss the miracle of what is right in front of us. Our minds, they start to become very scattered and we struggle to be able to stay focused, and our hearts start to become restless because we are never in the moment. We are never where our feet are. We stay reactive instead of rooted in that moment. We keep ourselves very busy, but we start to feel more and more disconnected from those around us, from our situation that is around us. And worst of all, we start to believe that this is normal, that this is how we should be living, this is how everyone is living. But the truth is, presence is powerful, and you don't need to go off to some silent retreat, which sounds amazing some days, but you need to live with intention. So being present doesn't mean that your life is quiet or that your life is easy. It means that your mind and your heart are in the same place as your body. And, I had a teacher one time, a mentor, say, you just need to be where your feet are. So if your feet are at home, your mind and your heart need to be at home with your family. If your feet are at work, your mind and your heart need to be at work, so that you are not at work thinking about home, you're not home thinking about work. You are where your feet are. And that is something that I have just adopted into my own life, in my own mentality. Um, but finding that moment where you can pause to breathe before you respond instead of always feeling reactive. It's noticing the color of the sky and just taking a moment to enjoy the day instead of just rushing to your car to get in to go wherever you're going. And it's truly listening to the person who is in front of you, whether that be your child, your spouse, a coworker, maybe even listening to your own soul for a time, instead of just saying, okay, what do you need? How can I help you? And just moving on very, very quickly. Mindfulness is simply the practice of paying attention without judgment. And here's the shift. And I do this myself. I have to get through this day, shifting it to I get to experience this moment. There, I kid because I have two dogs, and there are times where it's like, "Oh, they wanna go outside again. I have to take them outside again." Instead of I get to take care of them because they give me so much love and companionship, and they're both in the room with me right now doing things that I'm like, "Ah." But I love them both, and they give me so much, so I get to take care of them. I get to take them outside, which forces me to slow down, which forces me to take a moment. Um, Forces me to get some more steps in my day. Um, so it is shifting that mindset from I have to I get to. And that honestly, for me, it changes a lot of my perspective. So I would encourage you to think about that. And something simple that you can do to really shift your mindset and focus on being present is to start your day with stillness. I mean, how many of us, we wake up and the first thing we do is grab our phone to see, okay, is anything on social media blowing up? Is anything in the news blowing up? What emails have I gotten that I need to address? Or, what's the forecast look like today? Do I need to, how should I dress? And it's just like, instead of just sitting there for a few moments, even just for 2 minutes, and just allowing yourself to breathe deeply, maybe read scripture, maybe say, have a prayer moment, before grabbing your phone, just will shift the focus of your day, to start off a little slower, to start off a little more intentional. That will change everything. And this is one of the things that I talk with, when I'm coaching a lot, is that we go through different activities. What are your first five? What are, the five non-negotiable things you want to get done in the morning? What are the things that help you to slow down and to be present throughout the rest of the day? And then even end of day practices we talk about. And so these are things, if these are things that you are struggling with, I would love to have just a quick 10-15 minute phone conversation with you to see if, we can give some quick ideas, or if maybe coaching would be beneficial for you. I would love to chat with you about what that might look like, free of charge. Someone was like, well, I'd love to do that, but that sounds expensive. It's like, no, 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 just that initial conversation is totally free. Would love to talk with you, about what, coaching looks like, and if that would be a benefit to you. So, if you would like to take me up on that, definitely make a comment, in the comments, or shoot me a message, and let's get that scheduled for you. But one of the things that I think many of us need to just focus on is just breathing. When something seems crazy, out of control, just to slow down, take a deep breath, slowly exhale, and then get back to it, letting yourself breathe. It's amazing that that resets so many systems in your body, and it really just gives your mind a moment to slow down as well. So, my challenge to you today is to slow down on purpose. Whether that is taking a moment in the car before you go inside tonight after work, if that is, before you go to bed, if that's the first thing when you get up, but somehow turn off the noise. Breathe deeply, let your body, your mind, your spirit catch up with each other so that you can be more present. So I just want to invite you. In addition to this, today I am wrapping up my 4-day confidence reset seminar, but it's not too late. You can still catch all of the replays and work through the different resources that have been shared. So if you are interested in that, definitely comment below and I will get you the information to where you can watch the replays. But we've been talking about listening to your inner script, how to rewrite that, how to build your inner coach, and becoming more present and rooted in, um, in intentionality. So would love to get you plugged into that if that would serve you well. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week as we continue with our, live at 8:05s and my What's the Word Wednesdays. If there's ever any topics you're like, man, could you talk about this? I would love to hear that as well. I'd love to have suggestions. Otherwise, have a great weekend. And remember, you are made for more. So I encourage you to go light